right after a serious accident, you just naturally think you're entering this straightforward system designed to help you recover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the expectation.
Right. Like, I mean, you're hurt, you're vulnerable, and you just assume the next steps are all about healing and getting back on your feet.
Exactly. You believe you're stepping into like a standard compensation process.
Yeah, but the reality, you are actually walking completely blindly into a negotiation battlefield.
It is incredibly jarring. You think you are dealing with a safety net, but you've actually just stepped onto a chessboard.
And that is exactly the focus of our deep dive today. We are exploring a truly eye-opening article. It's titled The Insurance Battlefield: How Carriers Undermine Injury Claims.
It's quite a read.
Oh, it really is. And our mission today is to arm you, the listener, with the hidden playbook of insurance companies.
Right.
We're going to decode the exact tactics they use to turn you from, a valued, protected customer into nothing more than a file number.
A file number with a rapidly shrinking payout value attached to it? Yeah.
Exactly. So where do we even start with this?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, we have to recognize one brutal underlying truth that the source material lays out immediately.
Yep.
Insurance companies are profit-driven corporations. Period.
I mean, they spend
Yeah.
millions marketing themselves as, like, being in the business of caring service, right?
Yeah.
Safe hands, peace of mind, all that.
Oh, sure. But once a personal injury claim is actually opened, that relationship changes instantly.
Wow.
Yeah, their friendly representatives are not there to save your future. They are trained to limit financial exposure and close files for the lowest possible amount. Basically, they're there to save the company money.
Okay, let's unpack this from the very moment your phone rings after a crash. Because the way this starts is, frankly, incredibly counterintuitive.
Right. The first contact.
Yeah, the adjuster calls, and they sound so compassionate, right?
Yeah.
Patient, reassuring. They say things like, we just want to help you, or we want to get this resolved quickly.
Which sounds great when you're stressed.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But is this compassionate adjuster routine basically just a Trojan horse? I mean, it feels specifically designed to make the victim lower their guard so they just casually spill details.
That is a perfect analogy. Yes. Once that Trojan horse is inside the gates, you feel emotionally comfortable, and that trust creates vulnerability.
Because you naturally just start speaking freely to someone who sounds like they genuinely care.
Exactly. But an insurance adjuster is not a counselor. They aren't a doctor, and they certainly aren't your victim advocate or your attorney.
Right.
They are what the industry literally calls a claims cost manager.
A claims cost manager.
Yeah.
Yep.
They use that friendly tone as a doorway. They need information, they need admissions, and most importantly, they need speed.
Speed. Okay, wait.
Yeah. Many legal practitioners actively warn injury victims that this Friendly Adjuster Act is one of the oldest strategies to get unrepresented claimants to cooperate against their own financial interests.
So you think they are rushing because they care about your well-being, but they are actually rushing to set a trap.
Precisely. They want to get to you before you even understand the extent of the damage.
Like physically and financially.
Yes. Within days of the accident, and sometimes literally within hours, the company calls with this great urgency.
Wow, hours.
Oh, absolutely. They say they've reviewed the matter and want to offer a settlement immediately. They offer fast cash.
Which, I mean, if you're the victim, you are drowning at this point.
Exactly.
You're looking at hospital bills piling up on the kitchen counter, car repair costs, you're missing work, so your paycheck is short.
It's overwhelming.
It is. You're dealing with stress, scrambling for childcare because your car is totaled, and you are in actual physical pain. So if someone calls and offers you fast money, say like $5,000, within a few days.
It feels like a rescue boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feels like a lifeline.
But it's an anchor. Fast money is entirely designed to sink the actual value of your claim.
Jeez.
Think about it. In those early days after an accident, you do not know the full medical diagnosis.
That's true. Adrenaline is still wearing off sometimes.
Yeah. Right. You have no idea if that dull ache in your back is going to require surgery 6 months down the line. You don't know if you'll need physical therapy that lasts for years.
Or if chronic pain is going to develop later.
Exactly. You certainly don't know your long-term wage loss, yet the insurer is pushing for your signature right then and there.
Because they want to lock it in.
Yes. They want you to settle before you reach what doctors and lawyers call maximum medical improvement.
All right, let's pause there. Maximum medical improvement.
Yeah, it basically means the point where your body has healed as much as it ever will.
Okay.
It's the moment you finally know the true final cost of your injuries. The insurance company knows that serious injuries become expensive later.
Ah,
So if they can get you to sign a release before you reach that point of maximum improvement, they win.
because once you sign that release, your claim is closed forever.
Exactly. There is no reopening it when the massive surgery bill arrives in the mail 3 months later. You're permanently locked out.
That is just brutal.
It is. Multiple legal analyses in the source material identify this early low settlement offer as a standard strategy.
Like it's just in the playbook.
Oh, page 1. A victim might accept that $5,000 because they are stressed and just need to make rent,
Right.
and then later discover their case was actually legally worth $75,000 or even $150,000.
Wow.
Yeah. The source uses a very specific term for this. It's not assistance, it is discount acquisition.
Discount acquisition. I mean, just hearing that term makes it so incredibly clear that you are just a commodity on a spreadsheet to them.
Just a number.
So what happens if you don't take that bait? You're smart, you refuse the fast cash. The article says the insurer's strategy instantly shifts gears, right?
Instant.
We move from speed to sheer attrition.
Yeah. If they can't acquire your claim at a massive discount immediately, they pivot to controlled delay.
Controlled delay.
This is where the emotional exhaustion really sets in. Suddenly, that friendly adjuster who wanted to resolve things in 24 hours needs more forms.
Oh, suddenly there's red tape.
Exactly. They need duplicate records. They need supervisor approval.
Which I'm guessing takes forever.
Right, and that magically triggers a department transfer, which means another adjuster is assigned and needs to, quote, catch up on your file.
Oh my gosh.
Weeks pass, then months. Phone calls aren't returned. Emails are answered at a glacial pace, and every single conversation ends with the same phrase, "We are still evaluating."
So it's a calculated weapon. It's not just a slow bureaucracy.
Time is one of their most effective tools. Delay creates 3 specific things: financial desperation, emotional fatigue, and reduced resistance.
Because life doesn't stop.
Exactly. The company knows your rent is due. They know the medical providers are calling you for payment.
Right.
They know your income might be interrupted. So they stretch it out until the victim finally thinks to themselves, I just need something.
Wow.
That exact sentence, I just need something, is the insurance company's victory signal. They know you are now ready to accept a fraction of what you deserve just to end the agonizing uncertainty.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Because while they are delaying the money, they are still actively gathering evidence.
Very actively.
The article highlights their use of recorded statements.
Yeah.
But wait, hold on. I don't get why a recorded statement is a trap. Don't they literally need to know the facts of the crash to cut a check?
It sounds completely routine, and the adjuster will phrase it exactly that way. They'll say, we just need a recorded statement for our file.
Right, just checking boxes.
But it is not routine for you. It is strictly evidence collection against you.
Against you.
Yes. Injury victims are not trained public speakers or legal experts. They are stressed, traumatized human beings. The adjusters ask innocent-sounding questions like, how are you feeling? Or did you see the other driver? Or did you have any pain before this?
So they aren't just making small talk. They are fishing for claim ammunition.
They are carefully designing a conversation where one uncertain phrase becomes grounds for denial.
Okay, give me an example of that.
Well, the article gives fantastic examples of how innocent words are completely twisted. Let's say the adjuster asks how you are, and you politely say, I'm feeling a little better today.
Because you're just being polite.
Exactly. But the insurer logs that as injuries improving rapidly.
Are you kidding me? So they take a basic human pleasantry and turn it into an official medical assessment.
Yes. Or the victim says, I didn't really see the car, meaning it came out of nowhere at a high speed.
Right. A normal way to describe a crash.
The insurer logs. Possible inattention by the claimant.
Unbelievable.
Or the victim honestly admits, my back used to ache sometimes after a long day of work. The insurer instantly logs pre-existing conditions.
Jeez.
This is exactly why attorneys advise claimants to be incredibly cautious with recorded statements. A casual, innocent conversation quietly becomes a partial admission of fault or an admission of mild pain.
So they've delayed your payout, and they've twisted your polite small talk into an admission of fault.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there.
No, it goes deeper.
Right. The next move is digging into your past. They ask you to sign a medical authorization form.
which is presented as standard paperwork just to get your current hospital bills paid.
Yeah. But it acts as a massive fishing expedition. It feels like you're playing a game,
Yeah.
and suddenly the referee just starts playing for the opposing team.
That's a great way to put it.
Like they're digging up an old chiropractor visit from 5 years ago or a high school sports injury just to argue that your current pain is actually a pre-existing condition.
Broad medical authorizations give insurers access far beyond the current
That's
injury.
offensive.
Legal defense discussions in the source note that they use these expansive releases to locate any pre-existing issues so they can divide responsibility.
Wow.
They will pull records from a decade ago and say, well, this back pain existed before the accident, or these shoulder symptoms are not new.
Even if you were totally fine the day before the crash.
Exactly. Suddenly, a very clear-cut injury caused by their driver becomes debatable. And once it's debatable, the settlement value drops significantly.
And the source talks about this specific devalue phase, which goes beyond just digging up old injuries. They actually start coding your human suffering into minor software algorithms.
Yes.
The algorithmic devaluing. To a victim, the injury is a massive life disruption. I mean, it's a parent who physically can't lift their toddler, someone having debilitating panic attacks every time they get behind the wheel, sleepless nights, chronic neck pain.
Real human suffering.
Exactly. But the insurer reduces all of that down to minor billing codes.
This is where the corporate machinery is most visible. If liability is too hard to deny, meaning it's obvious their driver rear-ended you at a red light, they shift to minimizing the damages instead.
So they can't say it wasn't their fault, so they say you aren't that hurt.
Yes. They will argue that the treatment you received was excessive, or that the MRI findings are minor.
Who are they to say what's minor?
Well, their software tells them. They'll argue physical therapy was unnecessary because the injury mathematically should have healed faster according to their algorithm.
That is infuriating.
The objective is simple. If they cannot say you were unhurt, they will argue you were not hurt that much. They literally redefine your serious suffering as a minor inconvenience.
And if they can't prove you weren't hurt, their next logical move in the playbook is to prove the injury is your own fault.
Right. Shift the blame.
Even when the other driver is clearly the one who caused the crash, the insurer aggressively searches for comparative negligence. They want to assign part of the blame to you.
They look for any behavioral factor they can weaponize.
Like what?
They will demand to inspect your car, not just to assess the bumper damage, but to check the interior. Was your seatbelt slightly frayed?
You're kidding.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Was your seat reclined a bit too far? They will argue that your posture worsened your own whiplash.
That is insane.
They'll ask about your braking habits or claim you delayed getting medical treatment by a few days, which, quote, exacerbated the injury.
But why? Why go to such absurd lengths to blame my seat posture if their driver ran a stop sign?
Because of the mechanism of comparative negligence, even partial blame dramatically reduces the settlement value.
It's about the math again.
Exactly. If they can convince a mediator or a jury that your reclined seat made you even 20% responsible for the severity of your own injuries, they legally get to slash what they have to pay you by 20%.
Which is huge money for them.
A massive saving for the company across thousands of claims. This is why injury claims often become less about the facts of the crash and more about building elaborate arguments around your behavior, your character, and your choices.
Speaking of your behavior, the surveillance doesn't stop at the hospital doors or the scene of the crash.
No, it definitely doesn't.
They're actually monitoring your daily life right now. Investigators are actively combing through Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
Yep. Social media is a goldmine for them.
They are looking at tagged family photos, vacation posts, literally anything you were doing in the public sphere.
And the crucial thing to understand here is that context does not matter to them at all. None. They're only looking for visual contradiction, anything that weakens your narrative.
So imagine a scenario. Let's say you have a severe spinal claim. You are in chronic pain every single day.
Right.
But it's your toddler's birthday. And for exactly 5 seconds, you grit your teeth, you fight through the agonizing pain, and pick up your child to blow out the candles.
A totally normal human thing to do.
Right. And someone takes a quick video and posts it on an Instagram reel.
The investigator will take a screenshot of that exact 5-second moment.
Just that frame.
Just that frame. They don't care that you spent the next 3 days in bed icing your back. They will take that single smiling image and use it to legally invalidate your severe spinal claim.
It is so twisted.
They will imply physical mobility and emotional wellness. One picture of you at the gym doing a light stretch on a single good day will be framed as absolute proof that you are exaggerating your injuries.
Wow.
They are looking for that one specific frame of visual contradiction to weaponize against your entire case.
It's terrifying because nobody posts their worst, most painful moments on social media.
Exactly.
You only post the forced smile, you post the highlights, and they use your own highlight reel to destroy your reality.
It's very effective.
So if the victim survives the delays, the twisted words, the medical fishing expeditions, and the social media stalking, sometimes the insurance company just pulls the ultimate power move.
The outright denial.
Yes, they just deny the claim outright. They send a formal letter saying liability unclear or insufficient evidence. And the article notes that a surprising number of people just quit right there.
Because they assume denial means legal defeat.
Right. They think a judge banged a gavel or something.
Yeah, ordinary people naturally fear the legal system. They fear lawsuits, attorneys, dense legal language, paperwork, court costs.
It's intimidating.
The insurer counts on this fear. The denial letter is actually just an intimidation tool. It's a negotiation posture.
So it isn't final.
It isn't a final judge's ruling at all. It's a corporate tactic. If you quit because you are intimidated by that letter, the company saves 100% of the payout.
So what does this all mean? When you look at all these tactics together, the lowballing, the stalking, twisting your words, blaming you for the injury with a frayed seatbelt, this feels so incredibly personal.
It really does.
It feels vindictive.
But is it? Is someone sitting in an office actively hating the victim?
What's fascinating here is it is absolutely not personal.
Really?
Really. This behavior is systemic.
Yep.
It is pure corporate mathematics.
Okay, break that down for me.
Well, insurance corporations collect enormous premium revenue from millions of drivers, right?
Yeah.
And their claims departments are judged, quite literally, by how effectively they control payouts.
So the adjuster's actual job performance review, their own livelihood and bonuses, are tied to how little they give you.
Precisely. Every single injury file represents money out. Therefore, the institution functions as a machine designed to search for every opportunity to reduce that outflow.
Settle cheap, delay long, dispute facts, weaken evidence, frustrate the claimant, deny portions of the claim, pressure a compromise.
Just checklist.
None of this is driven by personal malice toward the victim. It is simply the profit equation at work. The less informed the victim is, the more profitable the file becomes for the insurer.
That is just a chilling reality check.
It really is.
But the article doesn't just leave us in the dark, thankfully. It provides a survival guide.
Yes, very practical steps.
For anyone listening, there are concrete ways to protect yourself against this machinery. First, seek complete medical evaluations immediately. Don't wait and give them a reason to say you weren't really hurt.
That's crucial.
Second, never ever rush into that first fast settlement offer before you know the true cost of your healing.
Do not take the fast cash.
Third, be incredibly careful with recorded statements. In fact, just avoid them if you can. Do not sign broad medical releases blindly. Keep every single document and bill. Stay off social media entirely, or at least lock it down completely, and do not post anything about your life or your physical activities.
Go ghost on social media.
Exactly. Communicate in writing whenever possible to create a paper trail. And, perhaps most importantly, consult a qualified personal injury attorney early in the process.
Right, because understanding this hidden playbook completely changes your negotiation power.
So true.
You know, the conclusion of the source material is truly profound and, frankly, a bit tragic.
Yeah, so.
It points out that insurance companies do not always beat injury victims in a courtroom. Very often, they beat them much earlier.
Before a lawsuit is even filed.
Exactly. They beat them on the phone in the first 24 hours. They beat them through confusing paperwork.
The attrition we talked about.
Yes. They beat them through relentless administrative pressure and through the victim's own completely understandable impatience or emotional exhaustion.
The real tragedy is that the victims don't even know they lost a game they didn't know they were playing.
Exactly right. The victim walks away, signs the release for a fraction of the value, and simply believes, well, that must have been all my case was worth.
Which isn't true.
Not at all. That wasn't what the case was worth. That was simply all the insurance company could convince you to accept. Those are two radically different things.
It brings us right back to where we started. You think you're in a recovery system, but you're really on a negotiation battlefield against an algorithm designed to devalue you.
A very expensive lesson to learn the hard way.
Absolutely. And it leaves me with this final thought for you to ponder on your own. If this kind of calculated, algorithmic devaluation of human suffering is standard business as usual when it comes to injury claims.
Mm-hmm.
How might similar corporate mathematical formulas be quietly minimizing your value in other areas of your daily life?
That's a great question.
Think about your health coverage, your workplace benefits, or even how your personal data is monetized right now. Are you accepting what you're actually worth, or just what the system has convinced you to accept? Keep questioning the machinery. Until next time, stay curious.